Seeking Jesus and searching the scriptures will bring us face to face with the Word. Let's join Lee Eddy on today's search.
Well, welcome back. We are in the middle of one of the most excellent subject matters ever, and that is the idea behind every pastor out there is telling us to go out there and love those people. Love them. Love them. They'll know we are Christians by our love, by our love. Okay, so I have this thought about loving. Nobody ever told us how to. That has been a problem of mine ever since I was a little kid. Nobody told us how to. He just told us to. Well, tell us to do something we don't know how to do is kind of not conducive to getting things done. So I jumped into the Word, wanted to see how to work this. This is something the Lord and I really went after, and I found this verse, and this is what makes this so fun. John 15:13, it says, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." And that's what everybody says, but that's not what it says in the Greek. In the Greek, it says, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his soul for his friends." Well, your soul being up your mind, your will, and your emotions, your personality, that's your selfishness. Laying down all your selfishness for somebody else. Now, that's truly love. How do you do that? Laying down your soul. That's kind of a tricky deal. So, this is what this teaching is about, to show you how this thing is accomplished. And hopefully, you can practically apply this in your own life. I asked the Lord, how come he didn't teach on it? And he says he did. And I said, where? And he said in John 10. So I went to John chapter 10, and I found that it says this in verse 11. And I had some preliminary in the last podcast we've done. This is bringing us right up to verse 11. And it says, Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his soul on behalf of the sheep." The good shepherd lays down his soul on behalf of the sheep. Now, this is kind of fascinating. He does? Yeah, because it doesn't matter what he thinks, he has to do the sheep thing. Doesn't matter what he wants, he has to do the sheep thing. Doesn't matter what he feels, he has to do the sheep thing. He lays down his soul, mind, will, and emotions for the benefit of the sheep, on behalf of the sheep. That's very, very important. This is Jesus's whole way of life. This is something he's done continually through. Now we've touched this a little bit before. Let's go on, shall we? Defining his relationship with the sheep. Because verse 14 says, "I am the good shepherd. I know those that are mine, and I am known by the ones that are mine." Whoa, that's amazing. That means that he knows each and every individual sheep. Now, we told you before that in these kinds of sheep, the shepherd is there when they're born. They're there. He's there when there's trouble. He's there all through their life. When he does his signature sound, whatever it is, and that imprints onto them that shepherd. And this is it. This is fascinating. He says, "I am the good shepherd. I know those that are mine, and I am known by the ones who are mine." This is wonderful. I know Jesus. I know him. He knows me. He knows everything about me, every little bit, everything. He knows my ins and outs, what I've done good, what I've done bad. He knows every sin I've ever done. He knows everything I've done for him. He knows it all. He knows me in and out, up and down, backward and forward. He knows everything about me, and he loves me. That's really impressive. Laying down your soul actually produces relationship, because you're thinking about the other person. You're thinking about them. You're not thinking about you. You're thinking about them. When a person lays down their soul for somebody else, it isn't about that the other person whatever they think is more important than what I think. That's not, it's what they want is more important than what I want. That's not it. It's what they feel is more important than what I feel. No, 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 no. That's not the way it is. It's not laying down your soul to the sheep. It's laying down your soul for the sheep. Truly knowing them without judgment, just knowing them. It goes on to say this in verse 15. Even as the Father knows me, I also know the Father, and I lay down my soul for the sheep. I know the Father. This is the big issue, is it isn't laying down your soul to the sheep, it's laying down your soul to the Father. See, laying down something shows that you have to pick up something. When I lay down what I think, I have to go somewhere and pick up what is right to think. And there's only one place to do that. That's at the foot of the Father. When I lay down my thinking about somebody, I mean, I love my wife. I really do. I have to go to the Father and lay down what I think of her and what I think of what's going on, what happens. I have to lay that down and I pick up what the Father thinks of her. Now, when I come into her presence, I see her the way the Father thinks of her. Wow, that's true love. I lay down my will, what I want, and I lay that down at the foot of the Father, and I pick up what the Father wants for her. For her. It's about me laying down my soul and picking up my soul for her. When I go into her presence, what the Father wants for her is what's important. I may have to fight her to get that done. I also have to lay down my emotions. I go to the Father and I lay down what I feel, and to really get a grip on what I feel and lay it down so that when I pick up what the Father feels, what are his emotions for her, when I come into her presence, I see her the way the Father sees her, and I love her. That's laying down my soul is greater love. That's what it's all about. Laying down my soul, not to the sheep, for the sheep. Laying down my soul to the Father for the sheep. Laying down my soul to the Father for the sheep. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Okay. Anytime you have something that you need to pick up, you got to get a grip on it. Well, that's interesting. You want to grab something, you grab it, you pick it up. Now you got a grip on it. Well, that's very interesting. Until you get a grip on what you think, you can't lay it down. So you have to be honest about how you think about somebody. You have to be honest. I think about this and them, about this about them. I know this is, I think about them. I just like, no, you have to lay down what you think. You got to lay down what you want. I want to thump them so bad. I want to just, yeah, no, you got to lay down what you want. And you've got to lay down. You got to get rid of, you got to get your grip off of your emotions and lay that down at the foot of the Father. Now, this laying down your soul, getting it out of your hands where you don't have your hands on it. It's not what's important to you. What's important is where you're doing it at the foot of the Father. Now, when I lay down what I think, when I lay down what I want, and I lay down what I feel, means I don't have a grip on them anymore. They're not about that's not what's important, what I think, feel, or want. Not important. What is important is what does the Father think, feel, and want? And you see, this is going to be a real problem because you're going to have to really know the Father, aren't you? You're going to have a real relationship with Him. Well, therein lies the problem, because we need to know more about Him. The Bible says that God is love. Wow, when I go to Him, I find out what real love is. And then I can lay down my soul for somebody else and come away from my time with the Father with greater love. Isn't that amazing? The greater love. Now, we've got more to talk about this. It's kind of a fascinating deal. This is a hard concept. It's it's hard to do, not hard to understand. This has been a real fun thing to actually get understanding of it. Man, when a person does lay down their soul for somebody else, that's called greater love. Now, you want to talk about this? You want to get into it deeper? Get a hold of me. crossandswordministries.com. Get a hold of me because we can discuss this deeper. This really works. It works every time for everybody. That's the problem, is that we have to love everybody. This takes some doing to get it to that point. But just get a hold of me. God bless you, and we'll talk to you on the flip side.
This has been a production of Cross and Sword Ministries. Our mission is to bring freedom to people through the studying of the Word and pursuing an ever-growing relationship with Jesus. For more information, or to be part of our ministry, visit crossandswordministries.com.